What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Hangout Spot, where we discuss real talk, sports talk, live from my man cave. It's your boy Johnny, and let's talk Jets, because this Sunday night, the 4-4 New York Jets, fresh off their disappointing and personally for me demoralizing loss, 27-6 to the LA Chargers on Monday Night Football, will travel to Vegas to face the 4-5 Las Vegas Raiders, who on the opposite end are coming off a very impressive and dominating win, 30-6 over the New York Giants, in what was Antonio Pierce's head coaching debut. And in my opinion, this game is a perfect example of a tale of two halves, because just 3 games ago, both these teams were in two totally different situations. I mean, you had the Jets. They were coming off a very impressive and improbable win over the Philadelphia Eagles, who are probably the best team in the NFC. They were going into their bye week in a high. Many people were saying that they were a legit contender to win the AFC East. And then 2 games later, a lot of people are questioning if they're even a playoff team, because they've played some of the worst football on the offensive side in recent history. And then you have the Raiders, who were losers of 2 straight. Their locker room was in shambles. Players were unhappy. They go ahead and they fire their head coach at the time, Josh McDaniels. They elevate Antonio Pierce into the interim head coaching role. And then they look like world beaters against the Giants last week, which brings us to where we are today. And I got to be honest, if somebody had asked me, a few weeks ago, if we had a shot to beat the Raiders this Sunday night, I would have said without hesitation, absolutely yes, because I thought at the time we had a better all-around team. But fast forward to today, and honestly, I'm not so sure anymore. And that's mostly due to what I've been seeing, what we all have been seeing, or actually what we all haven't been seeing from the Jets on the offensive side of the football. I mean, it's just been absolutely horrendous, and there's no way around it. There's no way to sugarcoat it. When you have numbers that are either dead last or close to dead last in the NFL, in a pass-happy, offensively driven NFL, you're not going to be a very, very good team. You're not going to be a team that's going to be able to win a lot of games. You certainly are not going to be a team that can be trusted against another team that you're expected to win. For the Jets, there are no layups. Every game has to be close to perfect in order for us to have an opportunity to win. And if you look at these numbers, they don't lie. I mean, we're 30th in points scored, we're 30th in passing yards, we're 29th in time of possession, and of course, like I mentioned in previous weeks, we're dead last, 32nd in third down efficiency. And numbers like that just aren't going to get it done. And this is all with a defense that is 8th in the league in points allowed. So they're balling out. They're doing their part. In fact, we're 4-4 pretty much because of the defense and the special teams. The offense has not been consistent enough, and we're winning games despite that. But like as I said in previous videos, that's not sustainable. You're going to have to show some life on the offensive side of the football and play some complementary football in order for us to get in order for us to get some victories. The Jets have a good team. They really do. If the offense plays competent, we can beat anybody. But with the way they're playing, I have no confidence they can beat anybody in the schedule, to be honest with you. So I'm hopeful that they're going to come out and they're going to play different. But with as bad as we've been, with the quarterback that we have, with the offensive line issues that we have, I don't think that it's going to be fixed in 1 week. I think it's a work in progress. And I don't know if we're going to see, if at any, we're going to see any offensive progress anytime soon. That's just me. I mean, that might be the Jet fan in me, but I'm also trying to be a realist as well. I'm looking forward to this Sunday's game, though, because, like I said, you just never know. It's a Sunday night game. I'm not too happy that it's a Sunday night game. I was hoping they would flex it. We haven't had a lot of success in recent years on primetime. In fact, it's just, for us, a bigger stage for us to embarrass ourselves in front of national TV. But it is what it is. Here we are. And I'm going to give you my 5 keys to victory that I believe that if the Jets can execute, gives them the best chance to win on Sunday, starting with the guys up front, where games are usually won and games are usually lost, and that's the offensive line. We need better offensive line play. They have to be competent. They have to be physical. They have to be stout. We have to show other teams that regardless of all the injuries that we have, we are still coming to play, and we're still going to try to hit you in the mouth offensively, and it starts with the big boys up front. Everybody has injuries, man. I get it. We've been decimated by it, but we have to do the best that we can to get the most out of the guys that we have on the roster. And that's it. I mean, that's basically it. I mean, I wasn't happy with the lack of movement by Joe Douglas at the trade deadline to try to address the line, but it is what it is. Here we are today, and we're going to have to go out there and play with Max Mitchell, who I think has been pretty solid. Tippmann came back last week. He'll be playing, so that's good. Lakeland Tomlinson has been bad, but what can I say? At least he's reliable. He's out there. He's playing. Becton has been pretty solid. And that's what we got. That's what we got to go with. So these guys have to do the best that they can to pass block and to open up holes for Breece Hall, which brings me to point number 2. You got to feed the ball to Breece. Feed the beast, man. He is electrifying. You have to find ways to get the ball in his hands early and often. Pitches, sweeps. I mean, it can't just be running him up the middle for 2-3 yards. Get him some pitches and sweeps in space so that the offensive line can get some momentum running downhill, so they can block for him and he can hopefully see some holes and hit a home run or two. In order for us to have any type of success, we got to start scoring early, man. How many times have you seen the Jets fall behind 10, 14 points? It's almost like every week we're spotting teams, 2 touchdowns. We're not good enough to be able to spot team points and expect to win. We're just not that team, man. We almost have to play a perfect game on the offensive side of the football. And we have issues. We have issues. It's obvious that our quarterback is, I personally believe his ceiling is mediocre. And I would hope that he even hits his ceiling, because I think that the Jets can win with a mediocre quarterback, but he just has not been showing me that so far this year. But we got to be able to feed the ball to Breece, get the ball in his hands, try to get him some balls, in the short passing game, because once he has the ball, he can hit a home run at any time. Which brings me to point number 3, or key to victory number 3, which is we got to move the chains. He'll help us with that. But in the last 4 games, we've converted 10 first downs in 55 attempts. Horrible. That's just horrendous. You can't win football games if you continuously punt the football and put your defense in a position where they're out there the majority of the game without no rest. I mean, we have to sustain drives. And moving the chains will help us get into the 20-yard line, into the red zone. And I know we haven't been good there, but maybe if we get in there more often and have more opportunities, it will give us a chance to get better. But right now, we're not even getting into the red zone, and that's concerning. It really is. I mean, our MVP on the offensive side of the football is our punter. I mean, Morstead has been lights out, and it's only because he's had so many opportunities the last few weeks. I mean, we have to move the chains. And part of that is first and second down, trying to get in manageable third down positions so that Zach can have the best chance to be successful. And he has to start to take what the defense gives him. He has to start moving up in the pocket if the pocket breaks down, and he has to run, and pick up those first downs, those tough first downs, and put your shoulder down sometimes. I mean, you can't be passive and always look to hold the ball and make a play down the field, because what Zach is doing is he's holding on to the football because he's waiting for receivers to get open. He's not being instinctive. He is not anticipating, the receiver being where they're supposed to be and delivering the football with confidence. And that's getting him into trouble when he's holding the ball too long, because now he's fumbling the football. He's not throwing it to the other team, but he's putting it on the ground so that the other team can pick it up. I mean, the last 2 weeks, five fumbles, 4 of them went back to the other team. I mean, that's unacceptable. I mean, we're not going to be able to win games like that. We got to move the chains. We got to stop settling for field goals and try to score some touchdowns, which brings me to my 4th key to victory, which is the penalties. How many times have we gotten a first down or a nice chunk play or a nice run by Breece Hall, and all of a sudden you see a flag and it gets called back because of a stupid pre-snap penalty? That bullshit has to stop. Guys have to be more focused. They have to be more disciplined. You'd hope that Robert Saleh addressed that shit in practice this week, and he starts to hold players accountable, because we cannot win. We are not good enough to win if we are going to continuously shoot ourselves in the foot. I've said it time and time again. This team has to stop with the penalties. 8 last week, mostly all pre-snap. 9 the week before. We're killing ourselves. We're shooting ourselves in the foot, and we just can't do that. And then my last key to victory, my 5th key to victory, and I don't want this to be a knock on the defense whatsoever, because that's totally not my intention. In fact, I don't believe that we'd be 4-4 without the defense, but we have to take advantage of these turnover opportunities. I mean, how many times have we made the other team fumble and we just fail to fall on it and we give it right back to them? We got to do it. And I think part of that is I think the defense is just trying their best to make a play and put points on the board, because I strongly don't believe that they are confident that the offense can do it. But you can't play thinking that way. You got to fall on the football. You got to take advantage of these interceptions and give our offense an opportunity with a short field to try to score the football for us. There's just been way too many of those this year where we make the other team fumble and we don't fall on it, or we drop an interception. We have to clean that part up. And like I said, I don't want this to be a knock on the defense, because they've been good, but at the end of the day, it's almost like we got to play perfect on both sides of the football to win, because we are playing. Let's not forget, we are playing with a second string quarterback. Aaron Rodgers is not out there to be able to compensate for some of the mistakes we make. We got to play perfect football and hope that this kid figures it out, and is able to be a lot more consistent than he has been. And those are my 5 keys to victory. So what happens? What's my prediction? What do I think happens on Sunday? Well, as always, you know what my heart's going to say, right? My heart's going to say that this is the week that Zach has that breakout game, and we get the ball into the end zone a couple times, and we make life miserable for Aiden O'Connell, who is a rookie. And you have to think that that's going to happen regardless, because if the Jets defense has been playing stout football against some of the elite quarterbacks in the league, you got to think that we're going to give this rookie some fits. But let's not get it twisted. The Raiders have weapons. They have number 17. Davante Adams is a threat. You have to make sure that you are keeping an eye on him at all times. Jacoby Myers is a solid wide receiver, in my opinion. And we've seen him, on the Patriots against us a couple times a year. So we know what he's capable of. Josh Jacobs is one of the better, if not one of the best running backs in the league. So they have weapons. So, but I do believe that the defense will play formidable as they've been playing the last few weeks. And I'd like to think, like I said, that we're going to be able to move the ball and score and win this game. This is a winnable game for the Jets. However, my gut tells me that the Jets are going to continue to be the same putrid offensive team that we've seen the last couple weeks. And honestly, I have no confidence in believing that they're going to be able to fix this offensive mess overnight. As bad as they are, these are things that just take time to fix. The play calling has been a problem, so I don't know if that's going to be fixed overnight in 1 week. The offensive line, again, it's makeshift. So you almost got to hope and pray that these guys come out and play a solid game. And then with Zach Wilson, again, you don't know what you're going to get. Is he going to hold the football? Is he going to kill drives? Is he going to fumble? Is he going to finally come back down to earth? And we see the Zach Wilson of the last couple years where he's going to throw the ball to the other team. He hasn't been doing it yet. But like I said, it's been more because he's holding the ball, trying not to make a mistake, than being an aggressive quarterback. Does he try to be aggressive this week and turn it over? That may happen. So, again, I don't feel confident at all with the way that the Raiders are playing now. They're playing inspired football. I don't have any confidence that we're going to go into Vegas and win this game. The Jets are favored to win this game by a point. Don't know how the hell that happened. Obviously it's because of the defense against a rookie quarterback, I would assume. But I don't think that the Jets should be favored at all. In fact, I see the Raiders winning this game in close fashion. I think it's going to be kind of ugly. Possibly 16-13, 17-13. And then we're going to probably hear a shitstorm next week about, is Zach Wilson the guy? He needs to be benched. We need to bring in another quarterback. I'm sure Salah's going to have to answer a bunch of questions next week about the quarterback position, because I just don't think that the Jets are going to be competent enough. And I don't think that Zach Wilson is probably going to hit that switch anytime soon. So it is what it is. I'm going with my gut this week. I went with my heart last week and we lost. Hopefully I go with my gut this week and we get the opposite effect. I'm hoping I'm wrong, but my prediction is that the Jets lose this game. But anyhow, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Do you agree with me? Do you think that the Jets are losing this game? Do you think that this is definitely a game that the Jets are going to win? I'd love to hear what you have to say in the comment section. And if you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe, man. Come and support your boy and come and hang out with me more often here in the hangout spot in the man cave. But anyhow, I enjoy doing these videos. I do appreciate everybody for watching. I appreciate your support. And as always, this is Johnny. I'm signing out from the Hangout Spot, and we will talk to you soon, probably right after the Jet Raider game for a recap. Take care.